Oke, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, selamat pagi, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. The Honorable Rector of Universitas Negeri Surabaya, Profesor Dr. Nur Hasan MKes, Dean of Faculty of Education UNESA, Dr. Muhammad Nur Salim MSI, Head of UNESA's Early Childhood Education Department, Mrs. Nurul Khotimah SPD MPD, our remarkable speakers, Dr. Hairul Azhar bin Jamaluddin from University Kebangsaan Malaysia, Dr. Panita Pakdi from King Mongkut's University of Technology North Bangkok, Thailand, and also Dr. Wulan Patria Sorowinsong, PhD, psychologist and lecturer from Early Childhood Education Department, UNESA. All of the speakers, invited guests, and all of the participants. Welcome to the international webinar, Digital Age in Social Media Era, with its theme, Healthy Use of Social Media for Great Education in the Midst of Advances in Science and Technology, by HMJ PG PAUD UNESA, or Early Childhood Education Students Association UNESA. Before I read the event rundown for today's webinar, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Faiza Rahmatin as the moderator of today's event. And our event rundown for today's are, first, the opening. Second, listening to National Anthem of Indonesia and Mars UNESA. Third, Head of ECE Department's remark. Fourth, opening from our Faculty Education Dean. Fifth, for the session. Sixth, rules reading and the main session. And the last is closing. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start our event further, let's open it by saying Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you. Entering the second section, listening to the Indonesian National Anthem, Indonesia Raya, and Mars UNESA. So please to the committee to play it. All right, I think there's a technical issue, so we have to wait until it's shown. All right, I think there's a technical issue, so we have to wait until it's shown. All right, I think there's a technical issue, so we have to wait until it's shown. All right, for the committee, we still can hear the sound yet. So I think you should replay it from the first time of it.
Faisal, perhaps while we're waiting for fix the problem, and oh yeah, already. Okay.
Indonesia tanah airku, tanah tumpah darahku. Di sanalah darahku, di sanalah ku berdiri jadi pandu. Indonesia tanah airku, tanah tumpah darahku. Di sanalah ku berdiri jadi pandu hidupku. Indonesia kebangsaanku, bangsa dan tanah airku. Marilah kita bersatu, Indonesia bersatu. Hiduplah tanahku, hiduplah negeriku, bangsaku, rakyatku semuanya. Bangunlah jiwanya, bangunlah badannya untuk Indonesia Raya. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, tanahku, negeriku yang ku cinta. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia. Indonesia.
Yeah, Faisal, we can start for the opening remarks because this is the technical problem that we cannot solve.
Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia Raya.
All right, thank you for the committee, and we're so sorry of the technical issue. So we continue to the next section, the opening section that will be started by the head of ECE department's remark from Mrs. Nurul Khotimah, SPD MBD. For Mrs. Nurul, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Good morning from Indonesia, the Honorable keynote speaker, the Honorable invite guest, the Honorable Dean of Fakultas Ilmu Pendidikan Universitas Negeri Surabaya, the Honorable Organizing Committee of International Webinar 22, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to welcome you all the 3 international webinar. I will also like to explain my gratitude to all the keynote speakers who have come from such long distance to share their knowledge and experience in variety of experience. I believe your keynote speaker will give significant contribution for an audience of a conference. This is special action on what leads to welcome to this talk speaker, Dr. Khairul Azhar bin Jamaluddin, Deputy Dean Industry and Committee Partnership Faculty of Education Universitas Kebangsaan Malaya. Good morning.
Morning.
Dr.
Thank you.
Panita Pagdi, Lecturer Ken Mongke, University of Technology, North Bangkok, Thailand. Good morning. And Mr. Bulan Patria Huarensong, Psychology and Lecturer of EC Department State University Surabaya. Ladies and gentlemen, in relation to the context of recent development, the theme raised in the international webinar is the very relevant one, along with the progress of shopping technological development as social media. It is possible to have such a big influence on the development of teenagers or the younger generation. Therefore, this international webinar takes the theme digital age in the social media era. Social media seem to have become the opinion of sociality, especially amongst teenagers. To the teenagers are synonymous with gadgets that are used almost all day. Some of the most frequently used social media sit by teenagers of Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Line. This is because social media hits on advantage in interest for its user and offer confirm the makes teenager feel harm using it for long period of time. Therefore, the need to the within sure teenagers to be wise in using social media because everything in on social media. So our job is the profit direction on them so that they can be able to use social media properly so that they can continue to advance and creative and innovative. This webinar is the perfect opportunity for us to learn together about the use technology that is adaptive to global development so that we are placed in social media and can grab social that smart in social media. Thus, we can minimize the negative impact of social media as much of possible on the ocean of chair of the Shirley education. Studi Program Faculty of Education, Surabaya State University. We would like to explain our science graduate to the present for the compression profit. Thank you also on the Chancellor for taking and time and to all member of the committee for their hard work to make this international webinar happen. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mrs. Nurul, for the remarks. And for the opening for this event is opened by our Faculty of Education Dean, Dr. Muhammad Nur Salim, MSc. To Dr. Muhammad Nur Salim, the floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera, salam sehat. Good morning. The Honorable Dr. Khairul Azhar bin Jamaluddin as Deputy Dean Industry and Community Partnership Faculty of Education, Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia. Selamat datang Pak Dr. Khairul Azhar. Kami mengalu-alukan kehadiran Dr. Khairul. Semoga suatu saat bisa datang ke Surabaya. The Honorable Dr. Pranita Pakdi. Good morning. Dr. Pranita Pakdi as a lecturer, King Mongkut University of Technology, North Bangkok, Thailand, and the Honorable Dr. Wulan Patria Soroinsong, psikologis and lecturer UNESA.
Ya, Pak Dekan.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, currently the development of increasingly advanced of era effect, the development of science and technology. Technological development that are widely known as digital technology and social media. From children to adults, people have taken advantage of the use of digital technology and social media, whether use of our work, education, getting various information, and or entertainment. As we know, with the emergence and development of social media in this era, it has many benefits for us. For example, making it easier for us to communicate remotely, make it easier to find information, and also like now allowing us to hold online webinar which are followed by several countries. However, it's also necessary to pay attention to how to use social media wisely and positively. By holding the international webinar, I hope that the participant can implement the use of social media in healthy, good, and wise manner in the mindset of advance in science and technology. Provide knowledge about the digital age and the social media, as well as the use of a digital age and digital technology in education. That's my welcome. Welcome to the seminar. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, thank you very much to Dr. Nur Salim and to the speakers and all of the participants. Now is the photo session. So please to the committee. And I will count it in a count of 3. Okay. Please to turn on your camera first. I will see it from my slide right now. 24. Okay. Again, to all of the participants, please turn on your camera. We'll have the photo section right now. All right, again, for all of the participants, to turn on your camera right now, we will have the photo session. Okay, I think it's enough. In a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, to the second slide. In a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. We will take 1 until 3 slide because a lot of people just not turn on their camera. So for the third slide, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much. And as this event is officially opened, we will jump to the main session, which is the discussion section by our 3 speakers that are from 3 different countries, from Indonesia, Thailand, and Malaysia. Entering the main session, I would like to say welcome again to our speakers, Dr. Hairul Azan bin Jamaluddin from University Kebangsaan Malaysia, Dr. Panida Bakti from King Mongkut University of Technology, North Bangkok, Thailand, and Dr. Wulan Patria Saroinsong, PhD from Universitas Negeri Surabaya. Welcome to UNESA. It's a pleasure to meet you all in here, even it's online through our screen right now. And for the first section, is with Dr. Hairul from University Kebangsaan Malaysia with the discussion topic, the role of youth in the use of social media to realize inclusive and innovative education. For the 20 minutes ahead is for material section, and the next 10 minutes of it will be at the discussion section, or we known as the question and answer section. So please, to the Dr. Hairul, the floor is yours.
Right, thank you very much, the MC for today. Right, so allow me to share my screen. You can see my screen, yeah, right now?
Yeah, Doctor.
Okay, that would be great. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning. First of all, I would like to say thank you to the organizer, especially Dr. Muhammad Nur Salim, yeah, who is the Dean of the Faculty of Education, UNESA. I think we met him before, yeah, in the social visit, yeah, to UKM last time, along with Dr. Wulan, yeah, and other, yeah. Yeah, and also to the other speakers, thank you for making time and actually make it a possible way and platform for us to discuss about a very important issue that regarding to social media. Yeah, so my topic today is very straightforward. I'm going to talk about the fear of missing out and insight from the pandemic COVID-19. So basically, what I'm doing. What I'm to present now is about a research project that I've done with my colleague, Dr. Muhammad Syawal Ambrand, during the pandemic. So we want to look into What is FOMO in short? Yeah, fear of missing out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me move to the next slide. Okay, the pandemic COVID-19 has affected many of us all, yeah. Numerous learning disruptions have occurred, yeah, across the globe over the past few decades. But COVID-19 is something we didn't predict it, yeah. From natural disaster to recent unprecedented pandemic, yeah, it has been affected many of us, yeah. So in April 2020 in Malaysia, the Movement Control Order, which is in short MCO, was imposed worldwide to control the spread of COVID-19. Yeah, so in that situation, 800 million students were affected and forced to stay at home to stop the spread of COVID-19. Yeah, so the isolations have change the lifestyle and social activities, also their well-being, especially the adolescents, yeah? The adolescents who are also students in the university. So what happened is that when this situation happened, it has affected changes, and also the student need to adapt, yeah, to the new way of living, which is restricted to your home. Yeah, so this kind of very different. You know, when we were in university, like we hang out with friends, we have a lot of discussions, and in fact you can meet your lecturers easily. But when this situation, the drastic change happens, we are very limited, and our communications only happens virtual online only. Yeah, so that has made have given a vast impact, not only on the academic performances, but also the psychological well-being of the students, right? So as the result, there are three things that I identified from the literature. One, you can see there is a latest trend in a report that stated by Global Digital Statshots, yeah. It stated that the number of social media users around the world has exceeded 4 billion compared to before. So this is very interesting fact that when this situation happened, it's kind of like change how we interact. And now it makes possible even for us now, right now. We're doing these sessions via virtual, thanks to the exposure that we have before during the pandemic. But also what happened is that, as reported by Cam Nelson et al., yeah, they found that the number of people using social media at home has risen exponentially, with traffic exceeding 70%, especially among adolescents. So this kind of like alarming information that we get from the statistic, because adolescents are the main users, yeah, of the social media. And this has also left an impact on the psychological well-being, which is the fear of missing out. Yeah, it's precocious and has been affecting the adolescent social and psychological wellness. Yeah, this is what has been presented in the literature. So what exactly is FOMO? This is a very interesting definitions and term that being used widely in the internet. Yeah, so by definitions, FOMO is a sense of missing out, followed by a compulsive need to maintain social ties with others. Right? So Yin, Wang, and Ni, 2022, specifically defined that FOMO is linked to a variety of mental health issues, including stress, anxiety, depressions, lack of sleep, poor academic motivations, mobile phone addictions, and social media abuse. So this kind of thing kind of like leave an impact to the adolescents, especially students, yeah, when their sleeping pattern is different, you know. I'm sure that we are still experiencing right now. Like before we say, what the last thing that we do? Of course, we're gonna scroll our Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter just to get some ideas what's happening at the moment. So this has become a habit to a certain extent, is especially those who have free time, you know, and somehow it's affected the academic performance, because once you're addicted to the social media, your sleeping pattern change, and it's going to affect how your productivity is. And this kind of situations kind of like is kind of like counterpart to the productivity that you should have been implemented or have in yourself as a student. Yeah, so these situations, yeah, it has become alarming, not only in Malaysia, and I believe across the globe. And I'm pretty sure all of you are here experiencing these situations, yeah, during the pandemic especially. So with that being said, yeah, FOMO in the pandemic there are certain group of students or people or adolescents experience discomfort, yeah, with their friends who display luxury, joy, or have large number of followers. Yeah, we feel inferior, to see people who display joy, who display who has a large number of followers. So these adolescents feel there's any urgency to compete with that. Yeah, with that being said, it's lead to a situation where you feel stressed if you don't able to able to achieve the same thing like your friends did. Yeah, and also there are fear that others are having pleasurable experience while one is absent. So you feel that, oh, they're having fun even without me. So that kind of thing, the idea that they have, yeah, they're going to internalize and also create an idea that's okay, this tuition is not benefiting me, so it's going to give you stress and so on. Yeah, and also constant need to maintain contact with the members of the one social network. That means you constantly chat, you constantly keep connected with the Instagram, with the IG story, Twitter and so on, just to be part of that social circles. Yeah, and this can be a good thing, but also can be a negative thing. A good thing is that if you are joining a circle of people that discuss things that is going to benefit you, that should be fine. However, if you are joining a circle of people that discuss things that are not related to you and sometimes might be, I think it's more like enticing, yeah, when we talk about something that is not educational based, that's not academic based, yeah, more enticing to you, and you feel more like attracted to it. So that's kind of things that we try to avoid, yeah. And number 4, psychology effects such as anxiety, depressions, and problematic technology use will exist because of the pandemic and also the excessive use of the social media, right? So what me and my team did was we conducted a study, yeah, to look into the amount of screen time, how long do you use the mobile phones, yeah, and also how you feel about FOMO, fear of missing out. So we conducted a qualitative studies, okay, on 17 participants who are Malaysian adolescents who experienced the phase 2 of MCO in 2021. So we asked several series of questions that include how long they spend their time on the mobile phone, yeah, type of social media they usually use, the reason to use social media during the pandemics, the feelings toward the social media, the relationship they form among social media users, perceptions toward their followers and themselves, and also self-portrayal on social media. So this kind of thing, like we're talking about like how you portray yourself virtually. And sometimes it's very interesting to see that what you portray on the social media is far different from what you are in real life. Yeah, so they come like very interesting to know. So with that being said, we interviewed the 17 students and we found that there are a number of themes that emerge from the data, including loneliness, life satisfaction, self-disclosure, and also social comparison. I'll go one by one. Yeah, so let's look at the first theme, which is loneliness. Yeah, by definitions, loneliness is defined as a distressing feeling that accompanies the perceptions that one's social needs are not being met, yeah, by quantity or especially the quality of one's social relationships. Yeah, so you feel like left out, left behind, yeah, and also like not related to the certain group of people or friends. Yeah, so the MCO, you can see that the social distancing and continued isolation make it difficult. Yeah, that's why one of the things that I feel very lonely at home, even though we have siblings at home, but we feel very lonely because adolescents, that especially university students, that are very attached to their friends. Am I right? Yes, right? So when this situation happened, when the isolation happened, they feel detached from their friends, and thus they feel very, very lonely at home. Yeah. So the second thing is that in order to overcome that, they held virtual meetings and discussions to update their friends and acquaintances on their routines, what they do, what they have done so far, how they manage their things and so on. Yeah. So this is to counter the feeling of loneliness. Yet it still did not the same as the physical contact or face-to-face contact that they have before the pandemic. Right. And then, of course, some express that they lack of emotional support, yeah, and sense of connection in these pressing situations, yeah, because maybe some students during the interview, they felt that their parents don't understand them, their friends understand them better. And some of the problems that they have cannot be discussed with the parents. So that's what they express throughout the interview. So I think this is very normal, even for us all. Yeah, when we want to share something with the parents, there must be some regulations or maybe some restrictions that you don't want to expose or tell the parents. But with our friend, it's much easier for us to share, to discuss, and so on. So this kind of situation restricted them and make them feel very lonely and detached, from the actual or the physical contact that they have before the pandemic. Yeah. So the second theme that we found is the self-disclosure. By definition, self-disclosure is the act of sharing personal information, such as your thoughts, your dreams, your fears, goals, preferences, and also experiences. Yeah. So what happened when we interviewed these students that the respondent with more than 16 hours of screen time, 16 hours of screen time per day, mentioned that they mentioned that many posts have from profile that can capture the attention of followers or viewers. So they say that they wanted to get attention and get noticed. Yeah. So that's why they're very active on the social media, right? Second, they wanted to feel well received, felt rewarded when their ideas are well received and accompanied by positive feedbacks. For example, like say you're posting something on Instagram and you get like many likes or many views. So it's so rewarding for you, right? So this kind of thing happens to these students who felt that there's an urgency to get connected to the internet, to the social media platform, and also it deals with self-esteem, because some of the respondents who spent 8 to 16 hours says that negative feedback on their post affected their self-esteem. Some of them experiencing negative situations where some of the comments that are very harsh, and also some comments that are very negative affected how they see themselves, and this is going to affect the self-image, the self-esteem, and their confidence, in general. So this is a very, very important point to note here, because the time spent on the social media can be a positive and negative. And of course, excessive use of social media will lead to many problems, such as what I mentioned earlier. And of course, social comparison, by theory, it suggests that people value their own personal and social worth by assessing how they compare to others. I think that's very normal for us, when you're doing something, I'm going to see what my friends do, how they do it, right? How they actually express themselves during the pandemic. What did they do at home? That's why you can see there's a lot of TikTok challenges that appeared on the social media, right? So I'm pretty sure you guys are very expert with that, right? So so the trends and in these things like making them want to compete, the urgency, the urge to compete and be like better than the others, so it leads to a few problems, such as first is insecurities. Well, almost all respondents that we interviewed said that spending so much time on social media affect how they see themselves and are constantly compared with other friends. Okay, so when you're comparing, you have to think of this thing. When you compare yourself to others, of course you feel inadequate in certain areas. So this inadequacy will lead to depression. You feel depressed. Oh, come on, I can't do this. I should have done this. I should have made this. I want this so bad, but you can't because of other restrictions that you have at home. And the second is emotional. Some respondent mentions that the posts that related to COVID-19 patients and frontliners severely affected how they feel, and there are some respondents mentions that they feel very worried that situation might happen to them or even their family members. So this situation is quite overwhelming, and in fact, some of them felt that it's very depressing to think about the COVID-19. And of course, the feeling of envy is the third point, where you envy those who have experienced joy, luxury, achievement, especially during the tough pandemic times. So again, when we talk about social comparisons, of course, we cannot run away from it. I mean, regardless of how you're going to say that, no, I'm not going to compare myself, but you're still doing it, because you see something which is better, which is very sparkling or very interesting. You see that, oh, I wanted to be like that. I want to achieve that. I want to have that, right? So, but when you when you were not able to achieve or have that, that kind of create a tensions or pressure to yourself, right? So that kind of things that we need to address and help students how to maneuver and how to overcome that situation. So what we found in this study is that there is a need, yeah, to create awareness on the effect of FOMO. You know, we often hear that FOMO is just a normal thing that happens on social media, but the awareness is very important, because if you see from the data that I presented earlier, some situations might affect the self-esteem, especially the negative comments that you receive from the social media users. Yeah. And second, social media literacy, which has been done in certain Western countries, is the best platform, yeah, to develop positive mindset. What I'm trying to say positive mindset here is that you're going to create a literacy in a way that how to respond, how to make a good comments, and how to give feedback that is positive, that is encouraging to other people, especially your friends. Yeah. And also there is a need to look into how we can help to reduce the addiction to social media in terms of camps, maybe awareness and activities that in school or maybe universities that can help reduce the addiction to social media. Yeah. Because what happened, if I mentioned earlier, if you spend like 16 hours of your time on social media, it's going to affect how you think, how you react, and also how you compare yourself to others. Yeah. So in conclusions, what I can say is that school closure and restrictions on the extracurricular activities and also the schooling system has increased the screen time use among the adolescents, especially students in university, and that leads to FOMO. And second, dependent on social media to replace their pre-pandemic social life has become a thing during the COVID-19, and has made that they have to quickly adapt and change how they move around, how they communicate, and so on. And in certain situations, it might be depressing for them. Yeah. And also screen time, self-regulation skills, and awareness of FOMO in social media users, especially adolescents, are needed. And that's what I said earlier. There's a need to introduce maybe social media literacies, you know, to create awareness and other things that can help students to understand the situation that is very dangerous if they become addicted to social media and so on. So I think that's all from my presentations. Thank you very much. I'm passed back to the MC of today.
All right, thank you very much. It's a short time, but it's so big.
Thank you.
What is it, like conclusion? Like we talk about FOMO right now. This is the main problem of ours, our problem in Indonesia too, you know, all over the nation. And I think we have to show to the participants that I'm so sorry, I forgot to show the CV of Dr. Hairul. So
No
please to
problem.
the committee to show the CV of Dr. Hairul to know about Dr. Hairul further. So please to the committee for the Dr. Hairul CV. All right, while waiting, I think I will read the conclusion too. So talk about fear of missing out, that actually this is the related issue with COVID-19 as the effect of it. So I found like we have experienced a lot of effect of FOMO itself, like discomfort, fear, stress, lonely, self-comparison, insecurities, of course, like in this era with a lot of digital and also the COVID-19 effects that makes us fear of missing out.
True.
So
True.
yeah, for Dr. Hairul, that he suggests us for the future curriculum plan. The first one is create the FOMO awareness. Second is SOSMED literacy to have a positive thought and reduce the screen time. Like right now, we still have a lot of screen time. Like myself, I have like 12 hours a day for screen time for the courses or for just having fun with my smartphones. So
True.
yeah, we will continue to know further about Dr. Hairul. So please for the committee to show the curriculum vitae of Dr. Hairul. Okay, we will wait for it.
No problem.
All right, everyone. This is Dr. Hairul Azizi. So please to the committee to scroll it down. Yeah, actually, I've met Dr. Hairul before in UTM,
Yes,
so it's
I
pleasure to
remember.
meet you again, sir. Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Hairul Ashar, Dr. Hairul Ashar Jamaluddin is a lecturer from the UKM, and is from Queensland University too, from Queensland University of Technology, Brisbane, Australia, and also from University of Malaya. So
Correct,
it's a
yes.
lot of experiences of him. So if you want to ask a lot of him, so right now we will take the Q&A section. So please, to the participants who wants to ask the Dr. Hairul about FOMO or anything about the topics today, you have to raise your hand or write in the chat box. By the format is your name, your institution name, and your question. So please, to the participants who wants to ask Dr. Hairul, the floor is yours. Okay, so thank you for the committee to show us this CV. Okay, we see here. Okay, I think I will ask Dr. Hairul first.
Okay, please.
Yeah, talking about the future curriculum plan, like we have to straightforward about the FOMO awareness. So what kind of FOMO awareness that you actually plan for it?
Okay,
Dr.
all right. Very good question there. So when we talk about curriculum, yeah, so we have to do what is needed in terms of the community, what they experience and what are the problems. So my suggestion is that if you want to create a curriculum to address this issue, first thing first, rather than depending on this only study, there is a need to look into the level of FOMO among the students, or maybe other issues that related to social media. So once we have that data, we can create something. Instead of just focusing on one problem, maybe we can address a few other problems in context of social media addictions. Yeah. So other than that, I would suggest if we want to come up with a curriculum to address this problem, we need to involve experts, not only from educations, but also maybe experts from psychology department, and also maybe experts on the social media themselves to see what are needed, to come up with the design of the module or maybe a model, to help the content delivery will be more effective in a way that we want to address these situations. Yeah, and also it's very important, when we talk about curriculum development, we also need to base on our curriculum design on the best practices overseas. So when we talk about social media literacy, it's not something new in the Western countries. So we need to learn a lot from them, but doesn't mean that we going to depend on them, but we can see what are the best practices and try to jive and link together with the experts' opinion from the local context so that we can create a local curriculum that is as good as Western countries, that is addressing the problem that is in the context of maybe Indonesia or Malaysia. So that is my suggestions if you want to come up with a curriculum that is responsive to that particular situations. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Hairul. So when we talk about the expertise, we have to know about the local issues too, and we have to, combine it, not just from the educators, but also from the other expertise, or like multi-sector, not just the educators, but also like psychologists and the clinical people too, to face of it. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Hairul, for the answer.
Problem.
I see here we have fake question. Okay, from UGM, Afilda. Good morning, Dr. Hairul. I'm a biological student. When the pandemic happened, it was my fourth semester, and I almost did not have much time to rest, even for sleep. Wow, because I had a lot of practicum reports. At the time, I feel like it's okay because I can finish it all of them. But this year, when I start the campus again, I saw many of my friends have done a lot of upgrading skills, like they were on campus events, courses, etc. So it makes me feel FOMO. Oh wow, like I'm a loser right now, and I want to ask is how to accept myself and started growing up, because actually I don't have motivation and I feel like I left far behind them. Thank you. Wow, this is a deep question, Doctor. So please,
Yeah, thank
Dr.
you very
Khairul, to
much.
answer it.
All right, so thank you very much, Umi. First of all, I have to disagree that when you put in notions that you're a loser, that you're not competent, so you fall far behind. Because judging from the commitment that you give today, you are here. That means that you're very committed in enhancing your knowledge and understanding about certain area, and you are involved in the academic discussion, which is very good. So what is my suggestion is that I'm not a psychologist, but what I can say is that in the perspective of academicians, yeah, what you need is a self-regulation, academic self-regulations. By concept, academic self-regulation is the ability how you're gonna monitor, understand yourself, and also come up with a plan to overcome the problem. A student who is proficient, a student who is excellence, knows their ability, know their strengths and weaknesses, and also are able to make plan to overcome that situation. So in this case, yeah, what I need you to do is don't feel give up. You know, what you have to do is that you know that you are certain things that you fall behind. Yeah, now you're aware that there are things that need to be improved. Then the next thing you have to ask yourself, what you need to do to overcome that. Once you are able to plan and strategize and also get some help outside your friend's circle, maybe your lecturers, maybe the counselors, or whoever are very important to you, try to get the ideas and opinion how to overcome that problem. And when you have these things listed for you, you have to strategize and prioritize which one is more important first. So these steps are also measures that you have selected will definitely benefit you. And if it didn't work, you can always do revisions to it. You know, you have to always can revise your plans. Yeah. So there's, I believe that there's not only one plan to solve problem, there's also modifications, and also like you have to come up with different ideas, plan B, plan C, plan D, and so on. Yeah. So do not feel discouraged, me, and I hope that you take this opportunity as a platform to bounce back and actually regain what you feel that you have lost throughout the pandemic. And that is very normal, actually. I mean, in fact, as educators, we also felt far behind, yeah, because I've done a lot of research on the teachers' competency during pandemic. They also felt they fall behind. But what is far important is how you bounce back and how you actually overcome that situation. That is far more important, yeah. So I hope that within this few minutes of discussions, you get some ideas what to do next, and also you make your own measures to overcome that problem, yeah. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Khairul. So for Afilda Anwar, is there any feedback? So yeah, talking about revisal plan, like how to overcome with a lot of problems that we met right now. So yeah, set your boundaries. Like if you know about the others, like in study campus again, so many my friends have done a lot of upgrading skills. Like Dr. Khairul said before, we must reduce the screen time, reduce our boundaries, like that makes us like have insecurities, a lot of insecurities that actually damage us too. So yeah, it's a good suggestion from Dr. Khairul to revise your plan, or yeah, just overcome it and set your boundaries. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Khairul from Afilda Anwar. All right, it's interesting discussion, but yeah, in a short time, it's interesting discussion, and I believe this is related to our life right now as a youth. So thank you, Dr. Khairul. We will jump to the next section.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Nice to meet you, Dr. Khairul. All right. Okay. All right. For the second section, discussion is with Dr. Panita Pakdi, or Dr. Pita from KMUTNB Thailand, with discussion topic, the use of technology that is adaptive to global developments. For 20 minutes ahead is for metro section, and the next 10 minutes of it will be the discussion section, or we know it as the question and answer section. So please, for Dr. Pita, the floor is yours.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Assalamualaikum. Selamat pagi. Sawadika. Okay. Yeah, you can call me Pita or Dr. Pandita as whatever. So it's my great honor to be a speaker today. And today I would like to talk about attitude. When we try the world with the technology, we need the attitude first. So let's see. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me share the screen.
Okay, while waiting for Dr. Vita presentation, for
Yes.
all of the participants, you have to screenshot all of the materials as the evidence for the present link. When you have to do the present link, you have to screenshot each of the presentation for the evidence. So please, Dr. Vita, continue.
All right, everyone see my screen now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, first of all, today I would like to talk about in this era of the globalization and ideological attitude. It's about like three main attitudes that can drive to sustainability. So let's see what the attitude can drive to sustainability. And the last one, I will talk about my research that I did it before to show that how this attitude is important for nowadays. So let's talk about it. In this era of the globalization, in this era of the globalization, we are facing delay with the technological change and significant shift in the wealth creation. We must remain at the forefront of the technology in order to achieve the global competitiveness. Like nowadays, we easily to cross from another side to another side of the world, like from Europe to Asia, from South Africa to Middle East or anything. Any nation recognizes the importance of the technology innovation, economic growth, and international competitiveness. Now today, we are making ever increasing investment in the basic and applied technology strategy of the government, industrial, and academic collaboration to stimulate the technology-based growth, right? And trend and the investment. And the important focus of some nation is to target the acquisition of the technology used in the key industry to supplement their own effort to foster innovation, rapid commercialization, and the value-add production, so on and so forth. And Economic Forum has recently published the Growth Competitiveness Index, GCI, named 9 factors that are critical to driving productivity and competitiveness nowadays. That they are first, institution, second, infrastructure, macroeconomy, health and primary education, higher education and training, market efficiency, and technological readiness. And the eighth, business sophistication. And the last one, innovation. And for my opinion, I would like to add the attitudes about this to try. It's kind of the starter to have the mindset of the create everything, like create the technology, create innovation. So, however, the law of the technology, they come with the both sides, advantage and disadvantage. So the advantage, I think everybody know that, like cost saving, we can get the labor cheaper than the same quality. For example, I will give you an example. Like nowadays, we can like work together from another side and another side. Like we can work with the USA, and even we sit in Thailand, right? So comparing about engineer. If you want to hire an engineer, US engineer and Indian engineer, see, they both can work at the same quality, but the pay is different. So most of capitalists will choose someone that can reduce the cost, right? So most of the capital in this world will choose the Indian engineer to save the cost, because we can use the technology that everyone can work anywhere in the world. So it's is the main thing of the advantage of the technology nowadays, cost saving. And then highly skilled staff at the lower cost, economic of scale. We can produce more, but the cost is less. And often it is a country called the business. It can drive the business well when you have the like a good technology, modern technology, updated technology. And also the technology can be the disadvantage for some issue, right? Possible culture issue, no competitive advantage to some firm, and may affect the corporate image. And cost saving may not, it's not everything, you know, it's not like materialized. And the data information security may be at risk. And the data and may be at risk. Like the criminal nowadays just to share the pattern. You know, like, for example, like 20 years ago, when you need to withdraw some money from the bank, you need to go to the bank, and the robber and criminal is on the street, right? But nowadays, the criminal just change the pattern to be like the hacker can get your money from the internet, because nowadays we use the internet banking, right? They just change the pattern to do the criminal. So this conflict arises over issues such as like intellectual property, piracy, human rights, cybercrime, and consumer protection, taxation, e-commerce, and many other. So the important thing today that I would like to talk is about ideological attitude and sustainability. So many scholars claim that there are three main of the ideological attitude, which is ecocentric, anthropocentric, and the technocentric, that can drive the it's kind of like the attitude that can lead us to sustainability. So I would say briefly about ecocentric and anthropocentric. Ecocentric, you see the name, that is obviously clear that what is the meaning of that. This attitude believes that the human and all beings in the world live together in the form of natural and ecological community. If something was destroyed, the whole system will be destroyed. Human beings, a part of the nature, have no right to destroy at the same time, and humans should treat with the respect. So anyone that have the ecocentric, is mean like they want to adapt themselves to live with the nature. Like nowadays you use the plastic plates, right? But if you have the ecocentric, you will back to use the leaf or anything that's from the nature in the daily life, something like that. But anthropocentric, from my opinion, it's quite an attitude, it's quite selfish, you know, because anyone have the anthropocentric, they will focus on how the nature affect the human. Anthropocentric consider human is the most important and be the center of the universe. Like everything have to surrounding the human. We are the biggest in the world, something like that, you know. And this attitude anthropocentric is to take the man at the center of everything. Any action had to taken to meet and support human needs. So it's mean like nature have to adapt with us. We don't care about this, but the nature need to adapt to us. But the technocentric is quite interesting. And I think nowadays most people have this attitude. Technocentric is in what a sustainable goal to technical and planning strategy and to technology-driven lifestyle finally. And moreover, it also supports sustainability by using the technology to build and plan and provide benefit to sustainability. I mean, from my research, I do the literature review, and I found that many scholars claim that, you know, this attitude is it's also support the world by using the technology. And I will give you an example. Like we can see nowadays as many big company, big firm, they try to save the world by using technology. They didn't adapt themselves to technology, but they use the technology to save the world. Like the Coca-Cola use the less the passive for produce the bottles, and some like we create a biodegradable plastic for using, something like that. So some scholars believe that the technocentric involved with the conservative and the prevent less waste and the control the earth for man. And yeah, many companies present the green technology introduced as a cleaner and non-pollution technology, so on so forth. And let's see sustainability. Do you guys know what is a sustainability? What is it? Anyone can tell me? What is sustainability? Also, all right, let's see together. Sustainability is I would say it's easy way. It's kind of like nowadays what we have. So the next generation should have the same quantity and quality. So it's kind of like our common future. And some of the scholars claim that the technology has been taught about leading sustainability. So see, they mentioned that the technology is the way to create a world well. The technology lead to the three aspects of the sustainable strategy. That includes economic, environment, and the society. So this strategy can solve the pollution prevention, products stewardship, and the green technology. That's all move a firm towards sustainability. And however, the technology is not only a thing to move to sustainability, but also to change individual consumption pattern can heal the world better. So I think most of people nowadays, we have the technocentric. So like when we facing some problem on this earth, we also use the technology to solve this. So that's why most of people believe that whoever have the technocentric can lead the sustainability happen in the future. So I will give you some example of my study. I do the research and I assume the hypothesis about the environmental attitude. That I assume that the technocentric and ecocentric, how is affect to the sustainable development and the green consumption. And yeah, this is my conception framework. And yeah, according to the environment attitude, I did the framework like this. And this study explored the relationship between environmental attitude and sustainable development, green consumption. And yes, I used the questionnaire to collect the data. And I did a purposive sample because I need the participant who is concerned about environment. And the result is show that technocentric and ecocentric green consumption and sustainability, that the technocentric attitude has a positive impact on the green consumption and also sustainability. This relation show that the environmental consciousness is an important begin to lead to create sustainability. And it seems technocentric attitude will support the environment when it's what considered the benefit for people, while ecocentric will also tend to preserve the environment through the nature first. And this attitude can determine environmental resource using. And yes, both of ecocentric and the technocentric can express a positive attitude toward the natural resource and environment, which concern about protection and preserve and conservation. So my research just supports some idea about the attitude that whoever have the technocentric can lead to sustainability. And technology is a fundamental segment of the global, from the creation of the new product to transfer of the knowledge. And from one source to the next, technology is an important base of the economic growth and development. And the old way of the doing internationally has been replaced by new methods that are sometimes complex but potential. And it's also the hope that the government registration will continue to encourage technical growth and advancement through the political tactic that are contingent with the business or with the everything in mind. We should prepare to address the potential benefit and could arise from expanding technology further. Yeah. Thank you. If anyone has questions, please ask.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Pita. Nice to see you again here. Okay. Oh yeah. Talking about sustainability, I want to ask it, but yeah, I could like a few seconds.
Mhm.
So like, for the sustainability, it's like a enduring something or put out with the environment. Is that right?
Sustainability is not talk about only the environment.
Oh
It's
yeah.
talk about economic, society, and environment.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that we pay attention with the environment, most, because it's kind of like that. It's a first priority of the problem in this world that we are facing now.
Of course.
So every problem about environment, like disaster, or we have a lot of garbage in this world, most of people will think about we will use the technology to solve the problem.
Yeah.
Just a few people to adapt ourselves to nature, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So for my next question, like for the technocentric attitude that you already explained before, like is it a positive for us? Like we face a lot of technology right now, but if we face it forward, is it gonna be a positive effect for us or not?
It's
From
depend on
yeah.
It's depend on what you're gonna use for that.
Yeah.
Technocentric is, I say, is a positive attitude, can drive you to everything in the future, because nowadays we use a lot of the technology, but it's depend on your purpose to use it. So if you use it in a positive way, it will come with a good result. It's come with a better result for this world.
No, yeah. So it depends of the purpose of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
Exactly.
Dr. Pita. We forgot again to show your CV. So we have to
It's
know
okay.
further about you. So please to the committee to show the CV of Dr. Pita. So Dr. Pita, you could also turn off the share screen right now, because the committee will share the curriculum vitae.
All right.
Right, thank you for the committee. We should know a lot about Dr. Pita. All right. Okay. Got a low battery right here. Okay. So Dr. Pita is as a assistant professor. So she is from King Mongkut University North Bangkok. So you should scroll it down. Okay. Scroll it down again. Okay. Okay, scroll it up a bit. Naik ke atas dikit. Up, ke atas. From the first page, please. Okay, I think my audio is not audible yet. Okay, from the first, okay. So Dr. Pita is recently from Kasisar University for the bachelor of Engineering, and the second is from King Mongkut University of Technology, North Bangkok. Wow, so it's an alumni from it.
Yeah.
And from for the PhD is National Institute Development Administration in Management. Wow, mashallah. Okay, so we should going to know about Dr. Pita further by ask her questions. Okay, thank you for the committee to sharing the curriculum, Heidi. We have to continue the Q&A section. So we have one question here.
We got a question, right?
Oh,
The chat.
yeah, in the
Yeah.
chat.
I
We have-
already read that. It's interesting that the Madi, right? Talk
Yeah,
about
right.
that when the technology is like kind of like the more important need more than the human, it's kind of like technology replace the labor. Where we should be in the future. I understand your question clearly. So yeah, yes, it's something that's really concerning now today. And UN already have the report about this. Like the technology will be replace the human. So the best way that the human can do, so we need the education and beyond, and like have the education and have the knowledge that is offered than the technology. So it's mean like you are next generation, right? You have to be you shouldn't be the user, you should be the creator of the innovation. That is a thing you have to be in the future. Mhm.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, I see the new answer of I see a lot of question like this, but it's a new answer that I heard right now. So we have to be a creator, not just the users. Like we're not going to be the end of the last human to when we putting aside of the technology. That's a good answer, mashallah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you everyone
Yay.
for listening. Thank you very much.
Okay, due to the lack of the time, ma'am, I think it's the last of the discussion section from Dr. Pita. So thank you very much, Dr. Pita. It's an interesting discussion for 30 minutes. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Pita. We will jump to the next speaker. Okay, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. Bye.
Okay. Okay, for the third discussion section is with Dr. Wulan Patria Insang, PhD from Early Childhood Education, UNESA, with the discussion topic, a smart society, in particular for teacher, parents, caregiver, and children. And the time is for 20 minutes for the matter section, and the last 10 minutes of it will be the discussion section. So please do, Dr. Wulan, the floor is yours.
All right, Faisal Orara, thank you very much. And for Dean and my head of department, Dr. Nurul, allow me to discuss and share about this information with all of you here from SSU. Yeah, I recognize some of the students come from abroad, from the SSU University of Philippines, as well as King Mongkut University, as well as BISCAS University from Philippines as well. So let me share my screen. All right, so my screen is visible. Rara?
Yeah, it's ready, ma'am.
Yeah, all right. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, guys. Yeah. Most of you is students. Yeah, and another participants come from the lecturer from Universitas Negeri Surabaya. So welcome and thanks for joining us. Today, as my expertise in the children and youth mental health. So today I like to discuss about the digital age on children. As because several my my research, I study on this, on especially in the digital and the internet use. So I like to discuss with you all here, and then yeah, before Rara introduce my CV, and this is the brief CV of me. So I'm working in early childhood department, early childhood education department, and my field is developmental and educational psychology, in particular children and youth mental health. So I'm also the practicing counselor since 2014. And then if you like to join with my research, so welcome. I'm very welcome to having you. And you can contact me in my official email, wulansarunsong@unisa.ac.id. Yeah. So this is a several my study relate to the digital age, and then the internet use, and then also the social emotional development, and then social skills. All right, guys, I like to have your idea. Yeah. So let us interact just a while. So if you know this millennial era, and all everyone, even the baby also just born, and then the oldest people, they use a gadget, they use internet, because this is their basic needs right now. So if you hear about the digital age, so what's the things come up from your brain? Yeah. So what do you think about the digital age when you hear these words? So you can type in the chat box.
All right, for the participants, come on, just type your opinion about digital age in the chat box.
Yeah,
Like,
because yeah, because I like to quote your ideas, and because of with Dr. Pisa and Dr. Khairul, you didn't speak up anything, so I like to make interaction between you, because as I recognize, this is just not only my students, but this is comes from Philippines and then Thailand as well. So yeah, so any one of you like to give your comments? What do you think about the digital age? Or Rara, you like to give your idea?
yeah, like based on the picture, like a lot of people from the early childhood age using a lot of technology or using a lot of screen time, like in this right side of the picture, the baby, even the
Yeah,
baby using the
baby.
tab
Yeah.
right now. Yeah, a lot of information that we get from internet, like a baby using a tab, a baby using a phone for calming themselves, and that's from their parents' rules. Like, wow, even a baby use it. Yeah, we don't know about the effect, but yes, I think that's my opinion about the digital age.
Yeah. So one question. So parents do for these kids like this, give them a gadget, give them a tab, give them a phone. It's for happiness, or just for to make their future become more difficult than now? Yeah, that's a question. This is for happiness, or just make you difficult for your future. Yeah. And wait, next. Yeah. And if we see this definition of the digital age, we can see this digital age. This is the continuous and increasingly rapid development about the technologies itself. And then this is also related to the communication technology. And because this is the millennial era and we cannot we cannot refuse it, and then we have to accept, yeah, this is the technology era and we have to adapt with this. Yeah. And guys, if we see from the 1 to 5 years old, we can see 60%, yeah, read or are read to, and then 58% they watch TV, 18% they watch the DVDs, 17% they use a mobile device, and 14% use a computer, use handheld video game, and then 6% use video game, and then 4% read and a book. So it's a very little much kids read the book, yeah, in this day age. So most of them, 60%, they use a 60% they use the computer and then gadget as well to make themselves happy. Yeah. So if we look at here, this is the image of you using the digital or technology we call. Yeah. So the reason why the digital literacy important is because currently early childhood, yeah, learning methods are changing to incorporate digital technology. As we know, for these 2 years, during these 2 years, we have difficulties to facing this COVID-19, and then all the learning method also transfer to become the virtual. So we do like a Zoom or a Google Meet or another platform that we have. Yeah, so we can see surely we cannot avoid this digital age era. So also the parents, yeah, the parents and teachers also must work together to teach the children literacy skills and digital services, so they can become digitally capable and creative. Yeah. Another the positive impact is you will be a more creative and capable digitally because every day you using it. So like now we using this Zoom platform to have interaction and then international webinar because we cannot meet face to face, and then we have to reduce these differences by using Zoom and then another platform. Yeah, so guys, we can see here the implication of the digital literacy for the early childhood education. As Thomas and Joyce said, this literacy is not only about keeping children away, yeah, from unwanted information, such as by turning off the TV, but this is also helping children become literate, competent, and critical in their various media variation, so that what is seen and heard is capable interpreted. Yeah, but as a parents and then as a future teacher also in early childhood, we have to use the media wisely. So as you see, the Philip, yeah, Philip Gemart, and then Guy Lacapelle, yeah, they make a book about the political parties in the digital age. So it's not impact to the children, but for the future also, this is can impact children a political manner. Yeah. So how about the implication of for the internet? Yeah, for the internet use for the children. So this is the fast word of internet is powerful. So as we know now, every day, every morning when we wake up, we just see our email, we just see first our phone or our laptop. Yeah, just suddenly we wake up and then we remember, we have a class today. I've to check my email because perhaps someone emailed me. So every day we start with the technology. Every day we start with the internet. So we cannot escape anymore for the internet. Yeah. And then for your information, also this application of the digital age when the children can use wisely, so they can make a videos, podcast, social media page, and then search engine, educational apps, as Dr. Khairul said about the FOMO, and as well as Dr. Pita also with their innovation in the technology. So everything you can use if you have the digital literate. Yeah, and then you will have the benefit when we teach kids to use the media, to use the gadget and technology wisely. Then we can connect with the friends. Yeah, so kids also just study or learn from home. They can connect with the friends even they not meet them face to face, and then can make a broadened community, and then enhance creative thinking, foster sense of identity, supplement learning, and increase access to information. Yeah. All right. So another also we can sharpening child's creativity and intelligences, and then children are more eager also to learn because of interesting animation by colors and then upbeat songs. Yeah, as we know in early childhood, we use every time song to encourage them to be more active and then happy with learn, and then also learning to read and write letters through the various applications such as coloring. Yeah, so children really like with the coloring. Yeah, as the psychologist has a result of the study, what the coloring can make us happy and can make us more focused and concerned on an object. As well as children's imagination skills are also getting honed because the games they use are varied and have various storylines. But once again, we have to become wisely when we use the games, we use the technologies, because this is can harm for you and then also can benefit for you, can make you happy and can make you difficult as well. And yeah, I forgot to notice that Dr. Cairo also said about depression. If you have an excessive use for the technology for the internet, also this is the one of my research in my PhD, and then I like also to share with you next. Yeah, not now because I don't prepare the presentation about that. Just focus for this digital age. Yeah, so I think this is a bit blurred for my screen. Then this is, you can see the impact of the excessive use for the technologies. This is can impact to our physical health and then emotional being, and then also our relationship with the family, the peers, and then also with the digital technology itself. Yeah, so yeah, so Dr. Cairo, you are really right that this is emotional well-being are very important for us. So, and then physical health also. So when we use the media, the digital media excessive, then it will impact for us because yeah, sometimes we cannot get a lot of likes, right? And then also we have to compare ourselves, our life with others. Yeah, and then we found that we cannot be like them. So we have to chasing and pursue, achieve something that we know it's not us. We cannot reach that, but we force ourselves to get it. Yeah, so that's why that's a gap between the reality and ourselves, and it can lead us to be more depressed. Yeah. So I'm looking forward for the next research with you, Dr. Khairul, about this. Yeah. So yeah, this is the question as well for us. Is media harmful for the children when they use the technologies? So the ICTs are intensifying traditional childhood risk, such as bullying and fueling new forms of child abuse and exploitation. Yeah, so this is still related with the comments in the IG, for example, or the Facebook or the Twitters. When you read the negative comment, then this is such a bullying, for example, and it will lead your brain to be overthinking every time about that, and you don't know how to fix it. One thing that the strategy I can I can give you, that just accept it. Yeah, accept it first and just let it go. Yeah. So that's not work for us to keep thinking about the comment that it's not really relate with our life. So also the children often turn first to their peers when they experience risks and harms online, making it harder for parents to protect their children. Yeah, so this is important for children, for parents to make time management or restriction for their kids to use this the mobile phone or another gadget. And also the researchers acknowledge that excessive use of digital technology can contribute to childhood depression and anxiety. So when they are getting addicted with the internet, and then for example, the internet suddenly cut and we cannot access the games or the social media, and we will become anxious. Yeah, because we cannot see our video, our movie, favorite movie, like me. Like me, when I don't have an internet and I just get panic. Oh my God. So how I can arrange this event, for example. And so how could when my leader, when my officer, my dean call me, also my college also need me to fix it. So try to be concise and try to find the electricity or the Wi-Fi, the internet, to try to reconnect with others. Yeah. So even me as a psychologist, we also a human. Yeah, so we have a humanity, and then also we have also anxiety. Yeah, and sometimes we can be depressed if we already have a lot of a message come from students come up to our WhatsApp group, right? And then yeah, start to become depressed. Oh my God, why a lot of a message? Yeah, and during with our workload too much also, and then many problem, and then many matters also we have to fix and then meet. Yeah, so the strategy, first strategy is just accept it. Yeah, accept it, and then yeah, try to break down more details about your task, and then try to contact one by one, fix it one by one. You cannot fix them together, yeah, in once, but you can make a more detail, you can break down all the details and then the methods one by one, and you fix it. Yeah, and trust me, it will pass. Yeah, it will pass, and you will be done with all your matters, even with your assignments or your relationship or another things. Yeah. Yeah, this is the obesity. Yeah, obesity and then the sleep disturbance. Yeah, when we start to just watching a Korean drama, for example, in front of the laptop, and you try to feeding yourself with a lot of the snack. Yeah, and the chocolate as well, like me. Yeah, and you will start to feeding your fat. Yeah, and then yeah, also you will get a problem with your sleep. Yeah, and then yeah, this is may interfere with developmentally critical activities and the family life. Yeah, when you try to ignore your parents, your kids, or your significant friends, for example. So this is can disturb your activities and then your family relationship. Yeah. For the negative effects, yeah, in children under 3, the use of a screen media is linked to a delay in the language acquisition. Yeah, so the children will get the problem with their language when they start to watch gadget or the YouTube with the another language from their mother language, for example, our mother language in Bahasa. But when they start to getting engaged with the YouTube, and then the YouTube also in another language, for example, in English, then they will have a gap between their mother language and then their second language. As well the psychological, yeah, difficulties, yeah, and including hyperactivity, emotional problem, and difficulties with peers have been associated with 2 or more hours, yeah, a day of the screen for school age children. So that's why for the children under 3, we cannot recommend for use the gadget or another social media or the technologies relate to the internet. But from the 3 and above, yeah, we suggest only the 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours, for example, when in the kindergarten, or yeah, in the kindergarten they have school, or they have to learn but virtually, then yeah, they can use the Zoom, but it's just for 2 hours. Yeah, that's the recommended. And then also from the research show that just 20 minutes of the fast-paced animated show can negatively impact executive functioning skill in young children. Yeah, you can see only 20 minutes. Yeah, only 20 minutes is very fast-paced animate can negatively impact, yeah, to the skill of functioning on the young children. It's like a attention span, yeah, and then the delaying gratification, and the self-regulation, and then problem solving. Yeah, so when they start to pay attention with the
Apa tuh?
screen, and
Kayak di
then
tempelnya. Ya? Yuk.
yeah, Osa, yeah, please host to mute Osa Fahmi, please. Yeah, so this a functioning skill, this is input the attention span. So when children start to pay attention, focus on their gadget, and then they ignore everything, they ignore their mom and daddy instruction. So it will lead them to have emotional and then a social problem in the future. Yeah, so how about this health implication? All right, still with the health implication, and this is immoderate amounts of the screen time to appear and to damage brain structure and function. So you can see if you have excessive time to use the internet, then it will damage your brain. So this study also have shown that a greater amount of TV time watched per day is associated with an increase in both irregular nap time and then bedtime schedules. Yeah. So that's why It is important for us to manage the time for kids to use the internet, and then give them the nap time and then the bedtime according to their age. Yeah. So this is when this is already happened, kids already have anxiety, and then they have an emotional disturbance with the gadget and then internet using. Yeah, change in the chat. Yeah, so kids start to show the change. It's like mood changing, enjoyment of non-media activities. So they prefer to more enjoy with the media, and then with the internet. And then they start to have problem with the sleep behavior, great school performance, their own behavior like a social skill, and an ability to participate in family and social life. So they will ignore everything when they start to use the internet excessively. Yeah. So how about this? How about the parents should be? So parents need to limit the internet usage time to make sure that the time spent using the internet does not absorb the time. It should be used for other activities, so you can manage your kids time to using the internet. For example, only 2 hours to using the internet, and then another activities you can arrange another activities like communicate, or you play with your students, with the surrounding. And then parents also need to introduce to children educational entertainment, yeah, sites, entertainment, or such engine special for children. I think in a Google um, many activities, and then search engine also you can restrict for the children if you're gonna find the program special for the children. And then also the recommendation from the AAP, yeah, for the infants. For the infants, you can use yeah, less than, yeah, for the infants, yeah, less than 2 years old, yeah, no internet, no gadget at all. Yeah, and then for children 2 years old, this is less than 2 hours per day. Yeah, so you can give the time management for them, and then avoid TV sets and internet connection in the bedroom. Yeah, so the TV sets only in the living room, the curfew also with the children, you become the curfew with the children, and limit the nighttime screen media use. Yeah, I think because the time running up, right? Rara?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
so
5 minutes
I should
again.
make this short. So, all right. So, how to teach the time management to them? Yes, set the goals with the kids, and then teach the children about the planning and organizing, and then arrange a schedule. Help your child prioritize the most important tasks, and then do not allow your child to procrastinate. Yeah, because it will lead them to have the procrastinate behavior in the future, like us. Yeah, sometimes we also postpone our assignments, yeah, to become a more perfect, or just like SKS we call in Indonesia, system credit semalam. Yeah, right. And then make us of alarms and timers, and then get rid of all the distraction, yeah, like the smartphone, television, and etc. Yeah, so everyone, thank you very much, and I hope this presentation can, yeah, can give a benefit for you all, as a teacher, as students, and then you are the future teacher and future mom also, and the future daddy, father for your kids. So thank you very much, Rara.
All right, thank you very much, Ma'am Mulan, for the explanation. Like we met here, we stick to the technology all the time for like in early childhood too, we met a lot of technology. And I think it's time for question and answer section. So please, for the participants wants to ask Ma'am Wulan about digital age or lot of explanation from her before. So please, you're permitted to raise your hand, or also you could type in the chat box. And I think while waiting, I will read the conclusion of three of the speakers. Also, Ma'am Wulan, we seek to detect all of the time, and we cannot refuse the development of the technology, all of the development that we met right now. We can expand our knowledge out of it. We can also enhance our creative thinking, like Ma'am Wulan said before. We can make our life to be sustainable, but in other hand, we could met the FOMO too, like Dr. Hairul said before. So again, a lot of aspects that actually affects in our life, like technology is affecting all of our aspects, like psychological health, digital thinking, emotional well-being, family and peers, a lot of it, and it will be also affecting our life. And how to be healthy users of the technology, and that is my question for Ma'am Wulan first. So actually Ma'am Wulan already explained a lot of healthy use of the technology, the effect of it, and I think I will ask of it, ma'am, like, what is your opinion about the healthy use of the technology itself?
All right. So healthy use about the technology. Important thing is your mental. If you cannot keep strong with your mental health, so do not use technologies. Do not use the social media, because so many bullying comments, negative comments can drops your mental. So be tough and strong first with your mental, and you can use this technology. That's a very
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I forgot one point that Ma'am Wulan said before, that we have to focus for ourselves, like our future, to find peace. Like we
Yeah.
have to introduce the children to their environment outside of the online environment.
Yeah.
That makes the negative impact of it. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think we
you're
will
right.
jump to the next question, ma'am, from Shahira from
Oh,
UNESA.
in the chat box, right?
Yeah. How do parents manage a child who cries because he wants to keep playing with his cell phone? Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
What's yours, ma'am?
yeah, many questions about this from the parents actually. Yeah. So Shaira, my suggestion and my answer is let them cry. Yeah, because if you try to stop them and then you give another thing reward, if they cannot stop crying, and then they will do that behavior again, they will cry again to get your attention, or you to get your reward, to get your gratification. Yeah, so just let them cry, because the babies or the kids, they can cry at least 15 minutes, and they will feel more getting more exhausted, because of they use a lot of energy. So if they cry just in 15 minutes, and they will stop, so you don't need to make another reward to them or ask them to stop. So let them cry. Yeah, so yeah, one thing, when they cry also, that's good for their health, because this is also can train their physics, yeah, their physical, like their heartbeat, yeah, their heartbeat, and then yeah, I think better to make them cry, but don't let them cry in 1 hour. And you, as a parent, you will get a difficult, and yeah, perhaps your kids' eyes will become more puffing, and then they will have red eyes as well, and then pain eyes.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. That's one way to calm the children that already have to, what is it, processing their emotional thinking. Like they have
Yeah.
to cry a lot of about a lot of things, but this is their way to reducing, to calming themselves. Yeah, that's a great answer, ma'am. So I think that's the last question because we lack of the time, mashallah. We've been
Yeah.
through three speakers, and we talk about a lot of importance of healthy use of social media for great education in the midst of advances in science and technology as our theme of this morning webinar. And we talk about sustainability, we talk about fear of missing out, we talk a lot of digital age, that actually this topic is endless. So if we talk about it, it will be an endless topic that we have to discuss it all the time because it's like infinity problems of our era right now. So yeah, thank you very much to our remarkable speakers, Dr. Hairul, Dr. Pita, Dr. Wulan.
Thank you
Also,
very much, Sarah.
yeah, thank you very much. Also, we express a lot of thank you to all of the active participants that questioning the speakers and also all of the committees from HMJ Begepaut UNESA or Early Childhood Education Student Association that already take part in international webinar Digital Age in Social Media era with its theme healthy use of social media for career education in the midst of advances in science and technology from beginning until the end of the event. I hope these experiences will be the new fruitful knowledge of all of us. I mean, and before we leave the room zone, don't forget to all of the participants to fill in the present link and take a screenshot of it because it will be the evidence of the present link, or you could also upload it in your social media if you wants to show it to the world that we have already learned about digital age and a lot of things that we study today. And I will tell one of the pantun in Indonesia that actually this is from HMJ Begepaut or Early Childhood Education Student Association that makes this pantun. Kalau ada jarum yang patah, jangan disimpan dalam peti. Kalau ada silap dan salah, harap sudi maafkan kami. In English, if we have a lack of words and a lot of problems or issue that we met before, please, we spare our story in a lot of sentence in a lot of language right now. And finally, we've come in the end of the event. I'm Faiza Rahmatin as the moderator behalf of all of the committees and UNESA. Express my biggest sorry for any inconvenience and uncomfortable. And to close this webinar, we will close it by reading Basmalah together. Alhamdulillah and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon from Indonesia and selamat siang.
Yeah, still morning, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, in Malaysia. It's already afternoon.
Yeah,
All right, thank you very much
Yeah.
for all
Thank
all
you,
the
Dr.
speakers.
Pita, Dr. Khairul.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope to see you again. Bye.
Yes, see you
Bye.
again.
See you.
Bye. So committee, please check again the link for the Google form. Yeah. Ya. Izin live ya teman-teman. Jangan
Ya,
lupa.
Mem. Terima kasih banyak.
Ya, jangan lupa Google Form-nya sama sertifikat ya untuk speaker juga.
Thank you very much.